Well, Anna, game one went to the PLEYZ, but even if they were to win the next one, it still wouldn't be a victory because we are in a best of 5 for the grand finals here in the beta finals of the HeroesHype Amateur Series. What did you think of that game one?
I love seeing teams that are obviously well matched. I think something that's really cool about Heroes is that it's never over till it's really, really over. We've seen that in a lot of games already, even just tonight. Especially remarkably, that last boss on Sky Temple with this tiny sliver of red that turned into a boss steal. Really, really cool. Same principle applied to this last game. There was a lot of moments where we thought, ooh, this team's in a really bad position. But overall, pressure really, really being on the side of Goon Squad, and they were able to take that game one. Now we have at least 2 more games going on. We will see these teams draft against each other. I wonder if there will be any respect picks or bans after what we saw last game.
Well, if we did, it would most likely be on the side of the PLEYZ versus Goon Squad, but that could also just be the maps as well, right? Like if they see a certain map, they might say, okay, well, you guys played this very well, and we don't want this on that map. Well, we'll have to see. We could maybe see more Kerrigan bans on Tomb of the Spider Queen if we're going to have that. What are we going to be on? We're actually going to be on Sky Temple, so your Kerrigan may be safe.
We will see. This is a fun map. There's going to be lots going on, but it is not going to be in a small space. It's going to be all over the place. It is going to be a tiring journey, and the mounts are going to get their workouts on this Sky Temple. It's a very large map. We've seen it played already tonight. It's a fun one. What do you like about Sky Temple, Gilly?
What I like about Sky Temple is that, for me, it's always very clear about what decision needs to be made next. It's very like, okay, so temples are down, first temple phase, top mid. When the temples go down, 2 minutes later, next temple phase, it's going to be the bot temple. From there, generally, it's going to be 2 of any of them. That one's going to be random, but it's always 2 minutes after that, and between then, it's like, you know when to go to get the merc camps, you know when to push lanes. It just makes a lot of sense for me when it comes to the decisions you have to make, and that's what I really like about Sky Temple. Not only that, it's beautiful. It's like this desert theme that's very lovely. Harrison Jones is on it as a little secret too, which is pretty cool. And there's a lot of opportunities for ganks too, especially around that mid lane, which I think is really awesome.
Ganks are always fun. Ganks are one of my favorites. Yes, indeed.
Well, yeah, as a Kerrigan player, I can see that.
Absolutely. I don't know. See, the thing is, I love playing Kerrigan, but I still don't know if I can call myself a Kerrigan player. She's pretty tough to take advantage of, but when you do, she's amazing. I hope the teams will draft her, but it looks like they're ready to draft.
Yes, it does. Let's hop over to it. And here we go. Goon Squad, first pick, first ban, insta-ban Illidan once again. So that's kind of been the Goon Squad this whole night, not really wanting to play with Illidan. They don't want anything to do with him, and really favoring having a new Barak whenever possible.
Yeah, and you know what? The Anubarak Tyrael thing really worked out for them last game, and it's been working out in general. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them looking for that again. I don't know that the PLEYZ will let them have it, though.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it was close enough match that I could still see the PLEYZ saying, okay, let's go with what we had before and make some tweaks, make some changes to our play. I think maybe there were a couple decisions that weren't made there. A couple of people got caught out as well. So the PLEYZ are going to ban Jaina, though, and that is somebody that the Goon Squad had last game. So they've decided not to have her. She is very good on this map. We've mentioned before her ability to push as well, but she's also very good against this, too. She can take out the Lost Vikings very quickly, and that's who the PLEYZ are going to go ahead and have. So yeah, Goon Squad got their first pick of Anubarak, but the PLEYZ have Sylvanas and the Lost Vikings. And Lost Vikings on this map so good because the lanes are so far apart. They're going to be able to sit in lane and passively soak that XP while the rest of the team go for temples. And now Goon Squad's definitely got to answer with some damage. They're doing so with the Vala, but who else do you think they might grab?
Well, I think the Jaina is as close as we could get to a respect ban. I think they really did not like seeing Vala and Jaina and how much damage they did together that last game. But right now there are a lot of really quality damage dealers in the game, and when you leave Kael'thas out in the open, Goon Squad is going to grab him. So they do. They've got Kael'thas and Vala as their damage dealers, which is certainly a strong combo as well. Now that puts things back in the PLEYZ court, and they don't have a marked damage dealer yet. But Goon Squad's already picked 2, so they may not be in danger of losing any more of their options, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them prioritizing a support here, because they want to make sure that they get the one they want. Goon Squad has already put their claim on a tank. They probably will pick another tank, but probably not one that could tank for the whole team. So I'm guessing a support here. What do you think, Gilly?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess they might even go support and tank right here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see ETC. He's so good on this map because of his stage dive and being able to be in the fight. It's so good. Global map presence on this map is so important because it is a huge map. It's, I believe, the biggest in the pool. It's so big. So I think we'll see that. And then a support as well. Maybe another Rhaegar or maybe a Malfurion. Because the thing to remember about healing when you've got the Lost Vikings is you've got a lot more bodies to heal, and so you've got to be aware of that. And then I also wanted to point out that something with Kael'thas versus the Lost Vikings I'm really interested to see is that if they take that talent level 13 where the living bomb explosions spread living bomb, because generally one of the things that is really great about having Lost Vikings is that you can put them right in the middle of the fight, and then you're kind of forcing them to attack the Vikings instead of the rest of your team, the more important heroes who count as full deaths if they die. So in that effect, if they were to be able to put a bunch of living bombs on them and it's spreading all around, that might be a really good way to deal with the Lost Vikings. But looks like the players are going to choose their support, and it will be Uther.
Kerrigan next, the PLEYZ.
That
Come
would
on.
be awesome. I think that would work really well. And
then
she's
who
good on
cares?
this map too.
Who cares who they have as a tank? I mean, they have a lot of options is what I mean, right? So they don't need to be too concerned that they're going to lose a good tank, but I feel like they really need a good damage dealer alongside this team to really make it pop. And I mean, obviously I'm partial to the Kerrigan Uther build, right? But I think that really fleshes out this team, because then you've got the experience soak, you've got the siege damage, you've got the healer. I don't know why else you would pick Uther unless you want to divine shield someone who can do a lot of damage with this composition, because I think Malfurion, like you said, Tranquility especially would be a really great ability to have here, but instead they went Tyrael. Maybe now Kerrigan.
Oh my goodness. So they picked Tyrael, which meant that Goon Squad couldn't get the Tyrael and noob. So instead, Goon Squad took Brightwing and Malf. That is so much sustain, so many heals for days. And now the PLEYZ they could either get another tank. They could get another tank. They've got Uther though, who's a pretty tanky support, so I agree. I think they're gonna go for a damage dealer here. It could be Tychus, because people like laser drill on this map because you're fighting in a certain area where you don't really want to leave because you don't want to give up those temples. But yes, the crispy taco emerges.
Okay. This is fun. Because I think the Tyrael pick was a deny from the PLEYZ for Goon Squad. They said, fine, we'll play with him because we don't want you to play again. The dual strong healer for Goon Squad was not expected. I would not have predicted that. But that's going to be really interesting to see how they keep a Nubarak alive. And then, especially with Tranquility, then we were talking about how great that is to have damage dealers who can just huddle up underneath Tranquility, especially on something like a temple. Oh man, this is going to be crazy, Gilly.
Oh man, I'm really pumped. Every single one of my favorite heroes on this map, except Jaina, but that's okay. We've still got Falstad, Tyrael, and Brightwing. For those of you who aren't aware of Crispy Taco, it was a term coined by TG and Squadron, where you judgment in with the Tyrael, and then Falstad drops the Handlerlin Blast right on top, and it basically melts somebody. There are ways to deal with it, and one of the ways could be having a bunch of heals, which they do have. They could also possibly pick up Cleanse and cleanse somebody out of the judgment immediately so that they can get away from it and hopefully get away, be able to get away in time for the Hinterland Blast to kind of just whiff, because that is a possibility. But oh man, with Wailing Arrow though, Wailing Arrow could stop that from the healers, like the cleanse too, though, because that if they're like grouped, then she could drop it on both healers, and then effectively for a few seconds they have no heals.
Absolutely. Letting the teams know that we are ready. They are certainly ready as well. I can't wait to see this take place on Sky Temple. My voice, I have a cough drop ready. I'm super ready to go.
Okay, so just looking at this, Goon Squad have good stuns from Kael'thas and especially Anubarak. They also have a polymorph, which they could polymorph the Tyrael if he were to come in. But they also have Tranquility. Most likely they'll take Tranquility, I should say. And they've got roots from Malfurion as well. So they've got a lot of lockdown potential between the stuns from Anubarak and the roots as well. And that's going to come in handy when you've got a Kael'thas who's really bursty, and then Vala as well. So looking at the plays, we've talked about that. Judgment into Hinterland Blast. I would love to see, we won't see it because they really need the damage from Falstaff, but Mighty Gust, it's pretty cool when you get to 20 because you can take that epic mount and then fly on the other side of the team and then push them into the rest of your team. And with the longboat raid, that'd be pretty scary.
Sure would.
All right.
I'm so anxious to get into this game. Looks like we're missing one player still. Gilly, did we ever figure out why that move is called the Crispy Taco?
No.
Someone in chat, please tell us, because it bothers me. I specifically don't like that wombo because I don't understand why it's named after that food. I really like food. I really like wombos. I like wombos named after food, but it frustrates me that I don't get it. So whoever can let me know, that would be great.
Well, while we're loading in, I can tell you about the Hot Pocket, which makes a lot more sense.
Okay, please do.
The Hot Pocket is Gravobomb from Gazlowe into the Pyroblast from Kael'thas. Which makes so much more sense, right? Because hear me out on so many levels. Whenever you get and you make a Hot Pocket, first of all, don't, because they're terrible for you. But second of all, they're still cold on the outside, but on the inside they're like boiling lava hot. And you throw the Pyroblast so that it's going to hit everybody on the inside of that Gravobomb. And trust me, they melt very quickly.
That actually, like, instantly, before you even explained it, made total sense to me. So that's why I want the taco to make more sense to me, because I feel like I'm capable of understanding food and wombos in combination. But until I am enlightened, let's watch this game 2 in the HeroesHype Amateur Series Beta Finals. Let's start by introducing the teams. Gilly, I'll go first if you like.
Sure, the teams did switch colors on you. I don't know if you realized.
They sure did.
Okay.
Goon Squad is going to be in blue. Goon Squad is going to be Hosty playing Brightwing Goat playing Vala, Boss Floss with Anubarak, Yoda playing Kael'thas, and Get Up on Malfurion.
Excellent. And in the red is the PLEYZ. Zeus will be playing those 3 Lost Vikings. Yell Cow is on Tyrael. Evan Drende is playing the Falstad. Lex Uther is on Uther once again, and we appreciate him for that. And Pirate Rum is playing Sylvanas. And as we get in, we already see the split from the Vikings, as we're going to have, it looks like the big push go on top with that Sylvanas from the PLEYZ.
Yeah, they're waiting for the minion wave to go by first. Looks like then they'll follow them into the top lane. Maybe not wanting to reveal that they were all up there quite yet. Maybe looking for a gank. Hosty is there all by himself, and ooh-wee, it's going to be tough to get away from these 4. Brightwing will go down and will be first blood at 37 seconds.
She was trying to phase shift in on Kael'thas, but didn't quite get that. And so now they're already up top with no opposition at all. They're already taking down this tower so fast. Whoa. We're not even 1 minute in and they're going to have a tower down. And this is the power of this composition. You let the Vikings soak the lanes that you're not in, and you use Sylvanas to take down the towers really fast. And then we most likely will see them rotate to the next lane to start taking down towers as well.
Wow, this is really cool. 1 minute and 10 seconds, and both towers are gone in the top lane. Yoda, Get Up, and Goat coming to deal with that. They are going to follow them up there, but the temples are going to be spawning. We have the top and middle temples. Lex, Uther, Yelkow, Evan, Drinde, and Pirate Rum staying together near the top here, looking for a gank. Instead, Yelkow, it looks like, will take this temple as soon as it's ready. What will happen in the middle, though?
Well, it looks like I would think that the PLEYZ would want to take that top temple because it will put damage directly on the fort, but instead they just want to push them off of both. So they are here in mid fighting, but remember they don't have the Vikings, but they also don't have Brightwing. Brightwing could phase shift in at any time, but she's trying to keep up with the passive XP boost that they get from the Vikings. And you see a Viking is rotating to top to deal with making sure they're getting the experience there because the rest of the team isn't there. Now they have been pushed off of this. They were a little bit low because of that fight where they were trying to pick up the towers, but they're coming back in. Lex Luthor gets a really good stun on Goat, who is going to be able to get away, but there is the Roots from Get Up, who is taking some damage from that hammering. Yoda has come in. They're trying to pick up a kill maybe on Pirate Rum, and that's a really good flame strike. Does get Sylvanas very, very low, but this is the power of Uther. He is being able to stun people off so that he can get a heal in, but also all of the heals from the Goon squad, it's making it very difficult for the PLEYZ to get any kills. Though they finally do on a Nubarak, and Kael'thas is very close to follow.
Yeah, astutely put, Gilly, that the damage is going to be a little harder to come up with for the PLEYZ, but what they do have in their favor is those stuns, of course, but also the personal assistants they have in the Vikings. They can say, okay, personal assistant, I'm busy. I need you to go take care of some errands for me. One is go clear these lanes and soak up experience. And two is also, could you grab that temple while you're at it? So the top temple will be started by Zeus. Pirate Rum will join up there. Looks like they will get at least a few shots off that before having to retreat, as we do see Goon Squad coming in to contest.
Yeah, Olaf actually is really good at taking temples, which is kind of ridiculous, but they do pick up a kill on him, so that's going to be nice at least. And Brightwing has come in, so now we've got the full force of Goon Squad here in top. They really want to keep this because they don't want to lose their fort at this point, this early in the game. But will they be able to stop this temple from attacking it? A great root on Yelkow, and a follow-up stun from a Nubarak means that he is going to have to get the heck out of there. And for now, the Goon Squad are going to be able to hold this temple as their opponents go ahead and grab level 7. Look at this, Zeus even pushing in on this tower in mid.
Really interesting, because the PLEYZ really look like they want to be aggressive. From the very beginning of the game, I mean 30 seconds in, they wanted to be aggressive. So they're really looking for fights and trying to press that advantage. Well, like you said, the heals coming out from the Goon Squad make it difficult, and when they're 5-on-4, even the PLEYZ have to back off. And they do. They are about one level ahead, though, and they do have 4 kills under their belt.
Yeah, they have those level 7 talents. Uther's still waiting on his. Probably will be cleanse here, it generally is, but they might have something different up their sleeve. Now level 7 being picked up by Goon Squad. We're going to have the Gust of Healing from Brightwing, who, by the way, did take promote, so that's going to help at least a little bit in dealing with those Vikings. As you see, she's a really great laner, so she's able to kind of deal with them, and on top of that, having the promote will help push them off as well.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing a trend toward the bottom of the map, and we know why, because the temple is going to spawn there. Both teams want to have zoning and things in their favor. Yoda will go down, Kael'thas getting melted, Boss Boss having to retreat as well. It looks like the PLEYZ will have the advantage here in the bottom lane, at least momentarily.
Yeah, and once again, they have Vikings moving to each of the other lanes that they are not in, and we're going to see them push right in on these towers. This is actually the only towers left. They've already gotten rid of all of the other ones in front of the fort. And this will be huge. If they're able to pick this up, if they're able to get level 10 before this next temple spawns, they're going to be able to get the temple, and that means that they're going to be able to throw a lot of damage on this fort here, as they've already started to do so a little bit. But Boss Boss is coming in, taking some damage. A really good root on Pirate Run means that they might be able to take her out, and will do so, and that's going to help relieve some of the pressure here on the Goon Squad.
And the temples will activate very soon, so the PLEYZ had the advantage in the bottom lane, but losing it in that engagement means that they may not be able to grab this temple as they hoped. Now we see Goon Squad pushing against the bottom lane in their favor, and they will take down the wall and both towers as well. Now they're going to fall back toward that temple, but it doesn't look like the PLEYZ are going to give up easily with harassing them about it.
Interesting. Actually, Uther went ahead and picked up Clairvoyance, so choosing to favor Vision over the cleanse there, even in the face of a polymorph, Roots, gravity laps and all of the stuns from a Nubarak. Now they do have their level 10 heroic abilities, and that means that the Goon Squad are going to back off here, not try to take this temple for now. They're going to try to just push lanes, get caught back up in experience. The heroic abilities the players picked up were Divine Storm, Hinterland Blast, Wailing Arrow, Judgment, and Longboat Raid. Anna, what did the Goon Squad grab?
Well, I will tell you in a moment, Gilly. Blink Heal for Bright Wing, Strafe for Vala, Locust Swarm on a Nubarak, Phoenix for Kael'thas, and Tranquility for Malfurion. Everything we kind of expected.
Oh, Lex Luthor definitely going to die here, but did get a good Divine Storm off trying to get away, but was himself stunned. But they got enough of the shots, actually all of them, to where they took out the next fort there in bot. So only one fort remains here actually for the Goon Squad. This push is huge coming out of the PLEYZ, but they'll have to keep it up as their opponents are starting to gain on them in terms of experience.
Oh my goodness, Goon Squad deciding to go for this boss, which is very dangerous. We see the PLEYZ engaging on them, but Tyrael is going to be stunned. He is too far forward. He is going to go down. Evan Drinde also stunned, has to barrel roll to get out of the way. Pirate Rum will get melted. Only Zeus, the poor little Vikings are left. They're going to try to stand on the boss long enough to keep it from being captured while Lex Luthor and Evan Drinde come back in. Will they be able to keep it? It looks like Hinterland Blast goes off. It's still being held just barely. Oh, and finally with Balog's death, the boss does go to the Goon Squad.
Wow, that was a lot closer than I realized. Evan Drinde had his Hinterland Blast up, also had Boomerang, which meant that he was able to throw his hammering out and then hit the boom right around the where everyone was. And so they were pretty low. They got the kill off of it. They got that Kael'thas, which was very nice, as he does have Gathering Power. So they're really keeping his stacks down, which is pretty nice. Falstad has Gathering Power as well, though, so it's going to be a battle of stacks in this game.
The boss is pushing pretty hard down here on the bottom lane. That fort is definitely in danger. We have Yelkow, Evan Drinde, and Pirate Rum, and Lex Luthor trying to deal with that boss. Only a smidgen of health left on that fort, so certainly not something that felt good.
Judgment goes down on Malfurion, followed by Divine Storm. Perfect. This is what they need to do to try to deal with that dual heal composition. Just keep them stunned for so long that they're taken out, and then they just can't heal through it, right? I mean, it's the perfect combination. So that's what they did. They've got this really cool wombo that they're able to do between the Judgment and the Divine Storm to take out the healers. They were able to pick up a Nubarak and Malfurion there, and now the temples are spawning. So this is going to let the PLEYZ really have a good setup, as they still have their level 13 talents over their opponents, and 2 temples are spawning.
Yeah, the PLEYZ deciding that instead of taking the easy temple that was sitting there ready to be taken, they want to go toward the one where their opponents were standing. They are still being aggressive, looking for kills. Goat did get a little low. Evan Drinde was there to challenge. Looks like we're going to have 4-on-4, if you count the Vikings as 1, here in the mid lane. But there are more bodies on behalf of the PLEYZ, so Goon Squad decides instead to run down toward that bottom temple, which nobody is using at the moment.
Lex Luthor decided to come up. He lost his life earlier in that bottom temple and decided it wasn't worth it again. They know that even if they're trading, it's in favor of them at this point because they have more structures. So it's not as big of a deal, and they can even go ahead and push here because they've got this Sylvanas. So not wasting any time, not wasting any of those shots, whereas everybody from Goon Squad is still trying to figure out what exactly to do. They're actually going to go back because they want to try to save this keep. But this is a full force of the PLEYZ here, as only one Viking is on that temple. They are going to disengage. Their opponents have level 13 now, so it would be an even fight.
Yeah, and who wants to have an even fight, right? Lex Luthor went and scouted out these siege giants. Looks like the rest of the PLEYZ were willing to take a look at them as well. They are going to start them. Boss comes in to contest. I don't know if that's a great idea because that's only 3 members of the PLEYZ here. Get Up is coming to join, but Hinterland Blast will take out Vala before they have the chance. Wailing Arrow goes off, but nothing much to follow up on it. Boss will have to burrow to get out of the way, but will he be able to leave? He gets slowed and goes down. Now we have all members of the PLEYZ still up. Get Up and Yoda will likely have to leave, and Tranquility does almost nothing. Looks like we have a pause. Must be something to do with lag. I know Goat has been having some problems.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been having problems. Both Hosty and Lex Luthor left, so supports on either side left, and I think it's been a lot of people having issues with that tonight. Sorry, folks, but I did notice a talent right before wins that I want to talk about, so I can at least mention that. Falstad at 13 went Crippling Hammer. A lot of times we see Giant Killer sometimes, although they've only got a new Barak, and usually you see that versus a lot of tanky combinations, so that makes sense. But then also a lot of times you see the Lightning Rod dealing increasing damage there, instead going for Crippling Hammer. And so that increases the movement speed slow of the hammering to 50%. And you talked about a new Barak being slowed there and now allowing them to be able to pick up the kill. That's what it was.
I liked that. It was quite nice. Slows are the lesser flashy cousin of stuns in this game, and I feel like they're becoming more and more important here in this matchup. Gilly, what are some of your favorite combos that are happening here in this game?
I really like the Judgment into Divine Storm as a way of dealing with the dual healers that we have from, is it Goon? Yes, Goon Squad. I think that that's really, really cool because if Malfurion is able to get his full Tranquility off, that's going to heal the entire team way back up. All of the damage that the PLEYZ can possibly put on them is just going to be negated. And so every time we've seen them Judgment in, and then instantly there's Uther is there and waiting with the Divine Storm and able to throw that out. He even has the Shrink Ray now, so he can put that on like Kael'thas in the process. But getting a Divine Storm so that they can instantly melt somebody, and just showing that Divine Storm still does have applicability, guys. I know you like your shields, but some stuns are not bad in certain situations.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm liking that too. I haven't seen it as much, and you know I'm a huge fan of Divine Shield, but certainly considering the utility of Divine Storm now. Really interesting to see Malfurion and Brightwing playing shoulder to shoulder. That's very rare, and both of them took healing talents. I mean, we didn't even see Emerald Wind come out of Brightwing. We see Blink Heal and Tranquility together. So Vala, Kael'thas, and Anub'arak should be kept very healthy.
It's a problem of stuns. They're being able to stun people so that they can't keep them healthy. That's really the case here, and we do see that both Brightwing and Malfurion went with Ice Block at 13. So I think they're really hoping now that if they can Ice Block while the initial stuns from Judgment and from Divine Storm come in, then maybe they can survive through and then drop Tranquility, Blink Heal, try to heal everyone back up. But that does mean that while they are Ice Blocked, it's possible that in that amount of time the team can very quickly turn and take out someone like Anub'arak or take out someone like Kael'thas. So that's something they'll have to be considerate of in terms of positioning, maybe trying to get back a little bit from those Ice Blocks. But one nice thing at least is you can cancel Ice Block. That wasn't something that happened until pretty recently in the patches. So they can at least hit it and then instantly when they move away, drop it and then instantly start healing people back up.
It looks like we do have Hosty and Goat ready, so we're just waiting on the opposing team to be ready. They actually apparently maybe needed a bio break or something during that brief break. We will get back into this game soon. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Game 2 in a best-of-5 finals for the HeroesHype Amateur Series. As I always suggest when we have a brief break in the action, I suggest using that time to check out and follow all the things related to this tournament. I suggest following HeroesHype, checking out their sub and their Twitter, and also would love it if you'd check out Misclicks, MISSCLIKS, which is the home for Eye on the Storm, which is Gilly and my Heroes talk show, which is the sponsor of this tournament. Thanks to you and your votes in the Blizzard Stream Awards.
Yeah, we will be having Frojo on, actually. He is one of the admins of this great tournament. He's going to be our guest tomorrow. We have lots of different types of guests, but we have pro players sometimes. We have community figures sometimes like this. And we're going to be talking about, we've been doing a two-part series. This will be the second part about resources and cool things for new players. So if you're new into Heroes, if you don't know much about it yet, last week's episode was about websites, streams, and what was the other one? Oh, shows that are really friendly to new players. And then this week is going to be esports tournaments that you should definitely know about as a new player. But we are back into this game, so let's head right back into it. Yay for not having to remake the game.
Absolutely. Now we see the PLEYZ. Yes, the PLEYZ keeping that momentum that they had just started when we had to pause the game. They're going to go to the Bruiser camp. They're going to try to take that out on the side of their opponents in terms of the map. Then it looks like they'll be looking to clean up this top lane, I wouldn't be surprised to see them turn around and continue to push here.
Well, yeah, especially because they've just hit 16, so they have a talent advantage here, and a pretty significant one, about a full level. They've also picked up 2 Blood for Bloods on Sylvanas and Tyrael, and Falstad has that overdrive, so he's going to be dealing a lot of damage. I feel like this is when you really start to see his damage really shoot up from that. Uther's still waiting on his level 16 for a bit. They're instead just going to go play it safe, paint the map red. I think they are pretty aware that temples would be spawning pretty soon, and they wanted to make sure they had all their heroes healthy, ready for the next engagement, especially since it's just one temple. So we will certainly, most likely, I guess, see an engagement here. But we'll have to see what Goon Squad thinks about that, because they don't have 16. They may instead choose to go and try to murk up somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like they aren't too interested in that top temple. They are headed down toward the bottom of the map. There is still quite a bit of a timer on these siege giants that they are closest to. They're cleaning up the bottom lane. The only other thing down there is the siege giants on the other side of the map, but we see the PLEYZ coming down and be like, hey, if you're not going to pay attention to the temple, we'll just leave Evan Drinde up there. He'll take care of it.
Evan doesn't mind. Well, they knew too that the boss is going to be up in just 5 seconds, so I think they wanted to get eyes on the boss at least a little bit. They do have clairvoyance, so that's nice. Uther can check it out too, as long as it's up. Still not deciding on his level 16 talent. Both teams just trying to stay ahead in experience, or at least get to 16 in the case of Goon Squad. They have it now, though. They're coming in, and for now the PLEYZ are going to have to disengage here a little bit. Insta ice block from Malfurion, but there goes Vala, who was deleted from the scene, and now already down. But Get Up is dropping Tranquility, so everyone will be healed up a lot for now. And Yelkow and Evan fairly low, did disengage, but they have already completed what they needed to do, which was take one of the members of Goon Squad out.
Yeah, you mentioned it a couple times, Gilly, and I think you're right on point that, excuse me, the PLEYZ really need to focus down one or both of these healers on behalf of the Goon Squad if they want to have a chance in fights. It looks like they were trying to do that. Get Up does get very low after that Hinterland Blast. They're still chasing him out. There is, yes, Malfurion will go down. Hosty is zoned out as well. Yoda and Boss Floss now very vulnerable, and both, it looks like, will go down. Yelkow, even that low, will charge back into the fray, and only Vala and Brightwing are left to the Goon Squad.
Yeah, losing Vala so early there was really detrimental, because they just didn't have a lot of they had significantly less damage. They still had Kael'thas, and they were able to heal everyone back up from there, but in the time that they healed back up, the PLEYZ did a really good job of just disengaging there, and engaging again once the Tranquility was down, once Kael'thas had thrown all of his stuff on top of the Vikings, which I don't know if you saw, but was pretty hilarious. Because I mentioned that Living Bomb, once he gets to 16, is going to be really throwing a lot of damage on the Vikings, and he definitely did. But now the boss is up, the PLEYZ are here to try to take it, but Goon Squad is now up. They've got a couple members back, though. It's going to be a bit before a noob is going to be there. There's a great Wailing Arrow followed by the Judgment, and once again they melt Vala. Man, that combination has been so good for them. Get Up is going to ice block. Sylvanas is down now. Yoda doing some great damage from the back, staying behind, doing a really good job. It looks like Lex Uther might be the next one to go down. No, does survive, but the stun comes out on all of the Vikings who are going to try to jump away, but all three, 1, 2, 3, get stunned by the Impale and will go down as they're chasing Zeus as well. But while they were chasing, the boss is wailing away on their bottom.
Yeah, you know, I was concerned for the PLEYZ when they were not very healthy and taking this boss, but I think that Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas was so well timed that it just deleted that few seconds where Goon Squad could have come in and stolen the boss, like we've seen happen so many times. So they did get the boss out of that. They did suffer the losses of the Vikings and Sylvanas, but I don't know if that they're too worried about that. They're at level 19 now. They're closing in on level 30. They're feeling very strong, and they have the top temple shooting their opponents. The bottom temple is occupied by Hosty, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Lex Luthor and Evan Drinde go down there after they're finished with these siege giants.
Man, this one temple nearly took out 2 keeps. They got the top one, the mid one was so close. Oh, great fly-in from Evan Drinde. He's going to be able to take out Brightwing. Really, really awesome idea. Good play. And now with that, they are nearing 20. They're the level 20 talents. We should see redemption, yes, of course, for Uther. An easy pick because of its applicability. Also, Hardened Shield on Tyrael too, with Call of the Wild Hammer for Falstad. So really focusing on dealing a ton of damage with that Hinterland Blast, which he's already been doing all game.
I think that's smart too, because what they're combating is, you know, Kael'thas and Vala, who we've already talked about, are very well respected damage dealers. So you want to make Falstad into one of those bursty damage dealers as well, and I think that's a great way to do it. Looks like we will see this keep go down. That will mean that only one keep is remaining for Goon Squad, and it is very, very unhealthy at this point. We will see the PLEYZ back off. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they rotate up to take a few pokes at that keep, and that's all it's going to take. Just one from Falstad, and it will go down. That means that catapults will be spawning in all lanes for the PLEYZ.
Exactly right. Catapults are already starting to push in toward the top, which they're going to go help along. But I wanted to mention, like you said, turning Falstad into a damage dealer capable of dealing with Vala and Kael'thas, but also just making sure that they can continue to make sure to delete whoever they Judgment and then Hinterland Blast on top of that. As players start to get healthier, shields will be able to be thrown on them. They'll make sure that they're still being able to do that, because that's been their goal all game, is just being able to take one person out instantly, create a 5v4 situation that they can then capitalize upon. But now, almost level 20, Goon Squad are going to disengage for a little bit. They do have Sticky Powder from the Brightwing, so prioritizing slowing versus getting more damage on top of somebody. They just want to make sure that whoever gets polymorphed is slowed. Maybe for some defense, maybe for a little bit of offense too, but they had the 2 Blood for Bloods as well.
Yeah, we see both teams being very healthy, so and also both teams now having level 20 talents, so an engagement would not be out of the ordinary. It looks like we will have it here on this temple. We see Zeus get stunned and rooted, but oh my goodness, Vala and the Nubrak are gone. Like you said, just deleted. Hosty and Get Up are now in trouble as well. Get Up, of course, being a priority target. He does have Tranquility, but no one else to heal but himself. He ice blocks, but he's going to be surrounded anyway. He's going to go down. Only Kael'thas and Brightwing managed to get away from the carnage.
So Judgment into Hinterland and Wailing Arrow is insane. It's ridiculous how quickly it melts somebody, anybody. That's nuts.
Well, so would we call that the Crispy Taco Supreme then?
I do believe that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay, so the Crispy Taco Supreme, delicious. Probably everyone who wants to win games should eat it. And you know what? That's just what the Goon Squad did.
They did. So with that, the PLEYZ have now tied it up. And that means it's not going to be a 3-0, Anna. I'm pretty pumped.
I sure am too. That means we have... How many more games, Gilly?
At least 2 more, as it is a best of 5.
Absolutely. I'm going to rest my voice very quickly between these 2 games. I don't know why, but I'm having coughing fits, which is the worst day in the entire world for that to happen, because doesn't my throat know that I have heroes to cast?
It should. Apparently it does not. It didn't get the memo. But you save your voice. I will continue to talk and say, guys, when we come back, we will have Game 3 in this best of 5 between the Goon Squad Incorporated and the PLEYZ. We'll see you very, very soon. In the meantime, grab some popcorn, enjoy some music, and we will be right back.